And here we are, video number 3, NetCat. So this is the second portion of penetration testing in our environment. Now, this one I've tested out in the environment in the OVA as well as in other facets, and it does take time. However, it may also not work. So this is one of those you'll need to speak to your instructor about to see if possibly you can skip this portion of the pen testing requirement. To be sure, we'll go ahead and go through and pull up our Kali box again. Now, again, this is the environment. You want to make sure you have everything loaded. And this one you can actually shut down all but the Kali box and the Metasploitable. So you don't have to have the bit rate and everything else that's going on for your CPU or memory being, out of this world, being used, trying to get the information you need for this test. So we'll pull this back up. As you can see, we're left off at the Mmap scans, and we're going to move right into this. So this time, instead of going into right into the commands that we have that I have here listed on the other screen, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the actual netcat and then do help to see what we have available for us. All right, so there's not very much. So you have a few shell commands items you can do. Let's see. The one we're going to focus on typically is just going, hitting the IP, and then seeing the information. So looking at this, we're not seeing very much here. So to do a netcat scan, again, check with your instructor because there's a possibility that this may not work. So netcat, then we type in the IP address. If you recall from our previous video, the ending IP address of the Metasploitable is .104 for me, but be sure that you have the IP address associated to your environment appropriately set up. Now, I'm going to pull up a thing here. So I'm typing in another screen. So we know it's 192.168.56.5 for the server. Metasploitable is 192.168.56.104. So we want to make sure we keep track of that as we're enumerating the network and getting the information that we can for the penetration from the outside looking in or the inside looking in, depending on how we're looking at it. So we have the netcat 192.168.56.104. Okay, and then we're going to hit port 80, because if you remember in our last video, now if I scroll up here, you'll see it from previous attempts, get past all the help stuff, right about here. In this area here, you'll see that we did an SSL heartbleed scan from Nmap, and we found that port 80 is indeed open on the Metasploitable box. All right, so we're going to scroll back down here. We're going to hit port 80 with the netcat. Cross our fingers, see what we get, if we get anything. And just as I thought. Now, we may get something. Let's see if it connects. Doesn't look like it's connecting. All right. So I wanted to make sure that we record these videos to show what can and cannot be done so that at least the instructors like myself and Mr. George or Mr. Thomas or whoever is going to be instructing your course, that they are aware that this netcat scan may not work with the environment, depending on, depending on all kinds of things. So let's, without further ado, we'll cut this actually a little short video to be able to have that so you have some forbearing evidence to show to the instructor, hey, I got the same thing as Doc Chambers did here, and I'm not getting any information. And so, and if I talk long enough, you know, maybe it'll come up. I don't know, but I'd rather not do that for you because then I turn this into more of a podcast and talk about all kinds of craziness that I shouldn't be talking about in the environment. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and close this out and say thank you so much for joining and reading and watching this video about Netcat. And if it does come up, I will record a new video and post this as a alpha associated. But if I don't, then this will be the only video for Netcat that you'll see. All right. Thank you so much. Be blessed and have a great day.